Let's just turn that off. And welcome to our GT3RS. This particular example has a GMG roll cage installed into it. As American GT3RSs cannot come with factory roll cages. A lot of people get these and they install a roll cage along with the swath harness. Excellently optioned with a white instrument dial. It's got deviated stitching in orange to match the lava orange that the car is equipped with. Some of the cooler things that came in these cars that some of you might not know about, besides the bucket seats that were standard, included was this little button right here, which is called pit speed. So you click this, and essentially, while you're in the pits, you can mash the gas as much as you want. It's not going to go past a certain speed. You have your typical stability controls, suspension, PDK Sport, which goes ahead and decreases the shift times and makes it more aggressive, and your exhaust button. You also have front axle lift that was installed in this vehicle. Very, very, very wise idea if you have any sort of driveway, because this car is very low and will scrape on pretty much everything. And this car also came equipped with a fire extinguisher, and if I'm not mistaken, this particular model has the extended fuel tank as well. Good for road trips and makes you feel a little bit more Le Mans capable. See, when these cars first came out, they were very overhyped, selling for a lot of money over sticker, and everybody wanted their hands on one. And then that really happens with pretty much every Porsche whenever they come out. But I understand it now. I really do. Have I found anything wrong with the car? Quite frankly, I really can't find anything wrong with it, other than the fact that definitely a car that has no room whatsoever for it on public streets. The attention to detail from Porsche is absolutely spectacular. You know, these cars are literally meant to save the most weight possible, to the extent that this car does not come with an emblem. Instead, it is a vinyl that is attached to it to go ahead and save weight. As far as the performance is concerned, it lacks none. There's not a single moment when you drive this car that you say, not enough. This car has more than enough power for anybody. I know the age-old question is, oh, it's not a manual, or is it worth it, you know, if it's not a manual? And quite frankly, if you're getting this car for the purpose that it's made for, which is to go to the track and to enjoy it, I really don't think that it should matter if it's a manual or not. Quite frankly, this car I don't think would be enjoyable as a manual. Having driven the 997.24 liters in manual as well, 3.8s in manual, GT3s, all these other manual Porsches, this car, quite frankly, is just, it's too much to handle with only one hand. I don't think you would have a good time driving it with one hand. I don't think this car deserves to be treated that way. You need both hands on the steering wheel at all times when you're driving this beast. This is not an entry-level beginner's track car. There are assists that will save you. PSM, or as some of the driving instructors like to call it, the please save me. You know, all these modern cars have it, but this is no joke. I'd like to go ahead and conclude this video by saying that this is by far one of the most amazing cars ever made. It knows no limits. It'll give you the confidence to make you feel like you are the best driver in the world, and then it'll quickly remind you that you are not. The fact that the car is naturally aspirated, you're in the power pretty much at all times, and your response in power is instant, is just, it's what's most impressive about this car. This car, as a manual, would not be enjoyable at all. At all. Go ahead, roast me in the comments, crucify me, say whatever you want, but this car as a manual would not be enjoyable. It is simply too much to be able to hold with only one hand, and you wouldn't be doing the car justice by only driving it with one hand. You need both hands at all times. You need to be connected, and that's what this car does. It forces you to be connected with the spirit of driving, and that's why I think that this is by far one of the best cars I've ever driven in my life.